everybody, Joleen Lunzer!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. Welcome to the BB Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. I break down all things Big Brother Season 24. Producer Tilly has joined me. Hello, Producer Tilly. Thank you guys so much for joining me live. If you are here, smash that like. But first, let's set a like goal. Let's set a like goal for 900 likes. Let's see if we can do it. You guys have been killing it, liking my videos. I've been doing a lot of shorter videos that have been fun to do and kind of flex a different part of my creative spirit. So thank you guys for supporting me on that and liking those videos and commenting on those videos because it really helps me in the algorithm. Welcome to my new subscribers. Sorry I missed you guys on Sunday. I have been super, super busy and I just needed a mental break from doing a live. So I appreciate you guys understanding, and I've been trying to pump out some shorter content to make up for my absence. So please smash that like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support the channel, super chat during the live and I'll highlight your comment. Otherwise, you can send a super thanks on any video after it posts and that'll show up. I also have a YouTube membership. I feel rusty. I haven't been live in a while. I have a Patreon and I have Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all the stuff that all the YouTubers have. All right, let's get started. Smash that like. Smash that like. We have a 900 like goal. Yes, Renee. Piece of cake. Let's do it. All right, let's have some fun. If this is your first time on my channel, we take a comedic look at Big Brother. So we're definitely going to be having some fun. We are going to be joking around. We're going to get mad. We're going to get sad. We're going to get glad. And we're going to sing a little bit. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Amy. It was fun. It was definitely fun. Live comedy shows are still a little weird because it hasn't been the same since the pandemic. But it was a great club and we had a good time. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to be talking tonight about episode 20 of Big Brother 24, which is crazy that we're already into, almost into September and well into August. Okay, so episode 20 of BB24. Tonight, we finally get to see here's what happened, you guys. If you haven't been following the spoilers, the feeds were down for Dire Fest. So the outside feeds were down for quite a few days. There was rumors that it was a wall yeller, yelling, Kyle, think with your big head, and other things. So, we've had wall yellers in the past. I guess that could have been. But my thing is, you were going to put this twist outside. You knew that Dire Fest, they were going to be living outside for a week straight. You had to have known that wall yellers were going to happen, especially with someone like Kyle in the house who has been, heavily criticized by fans, and CBS and Big Brother has been heavily criticized for protecting Kyle, what a lot of us see unnecessarily. I mean, just show us what he's saying. Show us what the house guests say. If you're going to show what one house guest says, show us what the other house guest says. But this is Big Brother, and they pick and choose who they're actually going to show the truth about, okay? So we go into this episode, and the feeds literally just came back yesterday to the backyard. So I have only had, and the rest of us who are feedsters have only had feeds for Big Brochella, which has been interesting because two different dynamics going on. This twist has been crazy. This has taken the game in a way I don't think it would have went. I definitely don't think it would have went had they not done this. This Dire Fest, Play on Fire Fest, is really taking its toll mentally and physically on these house guests. They are sick of it. All of them are sick of it. they're outside 24/7. They're sick of the sun. They're sick of the wind. And they're sick of the lack thereof because they put a tarp up at one time and then they opened the tarp today. And the heat and the bad food and just always being around each other. Because you think of the people in the house, they always have places they can go and they can hide in little rooms and nooks and crannies that they can game talk. When you're in the backyard, you're just in the backyard. You're out in the open. All right. So let's start some screen sharing some pics here. Hold on for 1 second, you guys. I just have to blow my nose and I don't want to be rude. So I'm going to shut off my cam and my And we're back. All right. Oh, that was my trash can. I thought that was Tilly. Yes, the LA weather can be really, really crazy. And it's been very hot. So they're definitely not happy about that. They have those porta potties. However, I did see that they have those like kind of flushable porta potties, which is so much better than those standing porta potties. Because if they just had those porta potties where you basically, there's just a hole, I would hold it. I would honestly pee in the pool. I would pop a squat outside. I just don't go in there. They're stinky winky. They're gross. I don't like it. Big Brother Bri, thank you for the first super chat of the live. Kudos for your content this year, Joleen. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much. Yes, they even looked a little sunburned in their DRs. It's feeling a little Survivor-esque because we're definitely getting the feelings, the emotions, the crankiness, the food they're eating. It's like veggie hot dogs and Bush's baked beans, which like, no, thank you. No offense to Mr. Bush or Mrs. Bush, whoever makes the Bush beans, but that's not what I want to be eating in the neighborhood. I want to be eating good. Oh God, Chell, you scared the shit out of me. He closed the office doors. Oh my God, that scared me. Okay, sorry, you guys. My husband just like shut to the office. We have these two doors. You probably heard it. And the air's on and they like push them shut. And that scared the shit out of me because you guys have, if you've been watching my lives, you've seen that I've had some possible hauntings. Okay. Some possible hauntings. All right. Let's see here. Veggie dogs are delicious. I don't even know if I've ever had a veggie hot dog. I'm not sure. I'm sure I have at one point. Okay. So yeah, you can see Joseph here, and Joseph does look a little sunburned, and I think that's kind of maybe why they put the tarp up, that and the bugs. The ants are so bad out there that they are waking up with ants all over them. It's just Ant City Township. It's not even fun. Okay. So we get into this episode and we come off nominations. Joseph and Turner are nominated. I think Turner's like, whoa, bro, dude, that's not facts. That's not fire. I thought for sure like we were dogs. Like we were Dog City. Dog City, bitch. Dog City, bitch. Okay. Not facts, not fire. That's okay. I'm still going to make you a rug, Terence. And then DJ Slow Time, a.k.a. DJ Showmance Saver, he's just like, I'm doing it. So Terence is very excited to be the second place HOH and to be out there. Joseph's a little worried. And then we have already seen that Kyle has let it all fly. He has let it all out. Okay. He has told all about the leftovers, which has been frustrating to a lot of fans who wanted to see the leftovers go a lot farther. But what we know from Kyle is that he wants to save his, I was going to say his showmance, his faux-mance, fast-mance, okay? Because he's like that Fiona Apple song when he's doing it with Alyssa. I forget her name because I don't even feel like she's playing this game. I don't even know how, he's just like, fast as you can, baby, come free yourself of it fast as you can. So that is in his head when he's doing the deed with old Alyssa. Okay. So we have a talk with Terence and Turner. And this is an interesting talk because Terence is trying to find a way to just give a reason for putting Turner up. And he's like, yeah, Terence, the only thing Terence's claim to fame thus far is that he threw OTEV, and he wants everybody to know, apparently, or everybody does know because Kyle knew, and he knew because the leftovers told him, or Michael told him, and so Terence is like, could have sworn, DJ Slow Time, DJ Slow Time, AARP. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. AAAARP in the air, in the air. He is just saying, I could have sworn that you said that you knew that I threw OTEV. That was my big move of the season, throwing OTEV. So that we would stay on the block and hopefully Monty would go home or Joseph, one of the big players, even though I didn't know about the leftovers. So I could have sworn I told you, and you said facts. And Turner was like, dude, I always say facts. I always say facts. And then Terence is like, yeah, oh God, silly me. Sometimes I just think I'm driving the bus right off the cliff. Thelma and Louise style. I just, oopsies. And Turner's like, bro, that's like all I say. I say facts. I say fire. I say shout out to Megan Belmonte and rugs. I'm Rug Daddy. Okay. Birkenstock. That's another word I like. All right. Recycling. Greenhouse. Not greenhouse gases. Greenhouses. I like that. I like, what's that thing you do? Compost. It's another word I'll say. Compost, facts, fire, compost, Birkenstocks. Boom. Electric cars. Those are things I just say when I agree with stuff. All right. Dan, thank you so much for the super chat. I'd be good with any Brochella member for the win. Ricky Bobby says cancel. And I love that song too. I let the beast in and then I leave. Mr. Susan's on fire again. And for a little while more. That's such a good song. Go Fiona Apple. Too bad she's not on this season. Okay. That's dope. He says that's dope. It's dope. There's no hope but dope. And Turner's just like, wow. Okay, bro. I'm just going to keep picking my hair because I don't get it, but awesome. So that is Terrence's reason for putting Turner on the block. And Turner's just like, I'm just going to count my split ends and hope that this twist ends. The evil Judas Kyle is out there, and he is, very suspect of Joseph because he knows what he did. It's like being in a cheating relationship. The person that is always like, blaming someone for cheating or worrying someone's cheating is usually the one that's actually the cheater. The one that doesn't trust, I should say, the distrustful one, the one that's checking all the time. If there's never been any cheating before in the relationship and they're checking your shit, and you're like, why are you checking my shit? It's because they're doing shit. Okay. If you're talking to someone, you make a friend and they're like, you sure talk to him a lot. You're like, what? I can't talk to someone of a different gender because you're doing that and you're doing it for nefarious reasons. That's why. So of course, Kyle's over there and Kyle is just like, well, I wonder what he's talking about. Wonder what he's saying. And by this time we have, Joseph, and Joseph is just like saying things like this. I'm not going to betray you guys. Joseph is so loyal. Joseph is loyal to a fault because now that this unprecedented twist has happened and the house is split and this alliance is split, it might be time to pivot. I mean, for Joseph, it's an interesting spot to be in. He is young. He does believe in the leftovers and also the pound. So Joseph is very insulated at this point, as is Turner, as is Kyle, as is Monty, because they are in the leftovers. And then inside the leftovers is the pound, which is the final four, which makes it even more interesting and infuriating that Kyle is willing to give up all that insulation just to save his Showmance and then make a new alliance with Tear Bear. DJ Slowmance. It's so the guy that said, I don't want a Showmance. And here's my thing. Part of me is like, Joseph, wake up. He's banging Alyssa. Okay. No matter how long the bang, penetration has been done. And we all know once there's penetration, it's over. Okay. It is OVER. It's another level. Once you've been penetrated, or you penetrate each other, or you both penetrate at the same time, or you penetrate, or you once genitals are involved, it is just never the same. Never the same. So Joseph, I would take that as a sign like, Kyle has already shown you that he wouldn't use the veto when he had the chance. And now you're split up from the rest of your leftovers, but the showmance is still by you. Who do you think he's going to protect when he wouldn't even use the veto for your alliance? And Joseph has said, I feel like I had to get rid of Indy. I really liked Indy. It's your turn, bro. And Kyle's like, no, 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 no. Let me say it. Yeah. No, 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 no. The only reason I can think is that Kyle was so adamant early on and for weeks that he was not going to get in a showmance, that he was not going to let this get too serious. Now, does Joseph know that they boinked? I'm not even sure. I know Turner knows. And Turner was actually someone who told Kyle, aka Judas, minus the priest, that, well, you can't take out Alyssa now. You guys had intercourses. Once you have intercourses, you're interlocking. You are interlocked. That's what's happening, okay? Human Centipede. That is where you're at right now. I would never watch that movie, by the way. I just told my husband, like, that's one scary movie I'll never watch. Two girls. But so Turner, I think he realizes it's a different level of realization where Joseph, I don't know if he knows that there's been penis, virgin, action Jackson for, the 10 seconds that we've seen. But Joseph just continues to be very loyal. He wants to keep the leftovers together. But with Alyssa out there, that would mean that he would have to believe that Kyle would vote out Alyssa. The only reason I could think that he would think that is because Kyle was so adamant, and maybe he just thinks, okay, Kyle is just hanging out with her, but they're not like in love. They're not in Louvre, even though they're kind of acting like they're in Louvre. Okay, Turner told Joseph. So Joseph knows this. So Joseph, if you know, the only thing I can think is Joseph is just naive at this point and just a really loyal guy, which isn't a bad thing. It just doesn't always work in Big Brother because you get guys like this who are just, following their boner all the way to the bank. I mean, that's what Jackson Mickey did. He followed his boner all the way to the bank. He boinked 2 of his fellow house guests. 2 house guests and won that money. Okay. So again, future players, if you see them boinking, bounce them out the door. Any showmance, any love in the club, hand love, mouth love, genital love, kick them out. Okay. Because they tend to get to the end and they've won in a lot of instances. Showmances have been actually very successful on this show. All right. This show has been more successful with showmances and lasting relationships than The Bachelor. They talk about that all the time. Okay. He's too close to see the connection. Okay. It's so catchy. Thank you. Daniel Tiger, ride along. Feel free to check out the video I put out about Janelle dragging Daniel Tiger with facts. It was great. And Daniel Tiger's out there. He is, what a loser. Okay. You're 35, bro. He now is going to be a troll. That's his new thing. He's like, I'm going to double down on this shit. Oh, and I'm going to make bozo happen. It's like, bro, you're not going to make fetch happen. You're not going to make bozo happen. You're 35. It's time to get some insurance, time to start your 401k, time to get serious. Okay. You can still have fun, but he didn't even know how to shut down his Instagram live. I was like, oh my God, boomer alert. You're younger than me. You don't even know how to do end live. He didn't know how to get someone out of his live. He thought he was adding Nicole. We saw this happen with Christmas Abbott. And then someone said, why are you such a racist? And she was like, I don't know how to end this. Before you go live, house guests. Figure out how Instagram works. How do you not know? You're a performer. I'm a performer and I'm 42. I know how this shit works. God, what a dork. So he was just on live ripping on people. And it's like, oh, so that's going to be your new claim to fame. Okay, I'm sure that'll get you a lot of ussy. Good luck with that one, dude. Okay, thank you, CAC16, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Okay, so then we go into Big Brochella, and they're coming off of nominations. Jasmine, it's a Butterbeans. I can't believe he nominated me. I talked to him twice this season. Butterbeans. Jasmine is nominated with Monty, and she thinks, well, Monty's going. I know what's going on in this game. I can read these things. And Jasmine, no. So they're nominated, and then we get their veto competition. Okay. And Tiffany comes back. That's not a good screen grab of Tiffany. Tiffany, I know I took a lot of screen grabs of you. Tiffany looked super cute. I thought she did a great job hosting. I did think, though, it was a little, she seemed to be more reserved. And maybe that was CBS's redirection. But I was like, I wanted more of my Tiffany personality that I'm used to getting from her. But it was a little more reserved. It was a little more Alex Trebek, and I wanted something a little more, fun. But she looked great. It looked like everyone had fun. Obviously, Taylor was so happy to see her. All the house guests were, even Jasmine was. And I was like, well, I don't know how Tiffany feels about the old jazz. Actually, you can probably find out because Tiffany, broadcasts about it. So, she has her own show on those two dudes show, which should just be Tiffany's channel. But it's like Cody and Derek, but they should just give it to Tiffany. Or Tiffany should have her own. If I was Tiffany, I would just get my own. But maybe this works out better for her. Again, the logistics, none of my business. But I was thinking about that, and I'm like, Tiffany is technically more relevant, the winner's circle, because she was the newest off a season, and she was just on the challenge. Derek, I think he is on some murder shows. And then Cody, I think he's just kicking soccer balls against the wall and twitching. I don't know what he's on Twitch, like, shoot, he's playing first person shooter games with himself, which sounds dirty, but it's kind of dirty. But yeah, I would just start her own, but there you go. That's a tangent we didn't need to go on, Joleen, but we did. Okay. So they had, the Veto comp where it's like, guess how much is in this? How many ounces? How many gummy bears? How many this? How many that? And then Tiffany's in a phone. And it looked cool. And I'm thinking this is, COVID related, that she can't reach out and touch somebody because then it's like contaminates the whole house. How many stickers are up there? All this stuff. Michael was playing very reserved. And Brittany was using her hypnotism. We had a whole hypnotism segment. Everything this season has been very trippy. It's just like, ooh, we're on acid. Ooh, hypnotism. And she's like, fold. And they all folded and she stayed. Needless to say, Brittany wins the POV. She was very happy to win the POV because she kind of wants out of Michael's shadow at this point. She doesn't want to feel like Michael has dragged her along. She wants some wins of her own for her resume because she does have a final two with Michael. Now, I don't know how she wins in a final two with Michael if they get to the end. I have no idea. I thought her final two with Taylor, they both had better chances going against each other. But I don't know how Brittany wins. Again, we have a lot more game to play. We're not even close to being there yet, but she does seem to be very, loyal to Michael at this point in the game. So she wins. Tiffany says goodbye. Brittany's excited. And then we get this showmance, no-mance, faux-mance. Oh my God. They're just like pushing this so hard down our throats. And I've been watching the feeds and I have another video that I want to make, like a short about this, but this showmance, I remember I used to not hate showmances. Remember how cringy Brendan and Rachel were, but they were like funny cringy to watch. These two are just sad sacks. Alyssa has become a shell of a person she was when she walked in. Not that she had all the personality when she walked in. She still was pretty vanilla wafery. You know what I mean? But now I don't even know why she's there. She looks sad. I mean, granted, she is in Dire Fest, but she just hasn't really. The only time I've seen her come alive is when she's stealing drinks from people and doing the WAP dance on the ground. That's really the only time I found her coming alive. But ever since the penetration, ever since the short penile implant she received, she is just it's disheartening. And it makes me feel like she's another waste of a recruit or another waste of casting on this season because I feel like she's not even gaming. She's not really playing. She's just, Kyle, do you like me? Do you like me? And he's like, well, I do like you, and so does my penis. That's why it goes so quick, And it's just, it's cringy. And at this point, there is all this talk. She knows about the leftovers. She knows Kyle has lied his ass off, okay? He has penetrated and denied, okay? And not told her the truth. And she still is like, we're going to make it work. We're going to go to Starbucks after this. He's going to buy me Starbucks. I'm going to order you my favorite Starbucks drink. You're going to love it. And he's like, awesome. I've only ever had hot chocolate at Starbucks because I can't have caffeine. And then they were talking today about getting high after this together. And she's like, that'd be awesome. In Florida, we're like, it's so hot. Just like chopping on trees or whatever you say. We'll get high with Turner. And he's like, that's all fun. What does it do to your wiener? And she's like, nothing. He's like, can I just take a 10-second hit? She's like, I don't think you would last 10 seconds on the weed, okay? So it's just, she just has become, she's just like, bleh. It's just, bleh. She now knows that not only was he lying to her, and yes, this is a game, but she really believed that they were, each other's like go-to person in this game, the only person she could really trust, which kind of, that's on you, that you would think that and not like make friends and other alliances within this game. But he also outed all the things you told him. So all the strategic and little things which she very willingly and seemingly happily gave up to him, he then divulged that. So she's finding all this out and she's like, oh, well, I mean, what am I going to do? It's just, it is what it is. We're just, we're in love now. And I'm like, this isn't love. Is this love that I feel? Or is this the Big Brother house that is doing this? Big Brother Bride, thank you so much for the super chat, Kyle. And the Angry Inch, for real. I mean, I feel like his penis has just destroyed her. And not in the way that like the kids now are being like, oh, you got to wreck it, Ralph. And I'm like, why? First of all, that's not sexy. If everyone's like, you got to wreck it. Like, why would I want my baby door wrecked? Okay. Like, do like, yeah, smash. It's like, smash. I mean, I get it, but it's like, it's a little much. Okay. So definitely. Yeah. Honestly, the sex stool at this point has more personality. Okay. And I had a better game, was aligned with winning players and had an actual alliance. Angela was furniture, but Angela at least had some strategy. Angela won things. Angela was a part of level 6. Alyssa is sad because she's hasn't been a part of anything with legitimacy or longevity. She doesn't know anything that's going on in the house. Her and Terence are realizing that they just know nothing. And this guy she's been laying with, is that the man you lay with? It is, has just pulled the wool over her eyes, pulled the floaty over her eyes, and it's just really pathetic. So now he's like, I can be your hero, baby. And she's like, geez, you can tell she's just like glassy eyed. She's in that point where it's like, I think here's the thing for women. She's been very emotional since they did it. And I think because there's still this double standard where Kyle can come in with his 10 seconds of jizz and walk out and no one will ever say you're a slut. They'll say you're dumb and you should have, if he doesn't win the game, you're dumb. You shouldn't have picked a chick. They'll say things like that. But for her, they will still slut shame. Slut shaming is still very, very, very prevalent in our society. And they will be like, oh, Alyssa, I've already seen people like, Alyssa just spreads her legs in this game. Well, no. Technically, I mean, I think Kyle was probably spreading his legs because he doesn't even know how to do it. So he was probably the one. And she was like, no, you can just close your legs. And he's like, are you sure? Is this how it works? So I don't know. I think that she's worried about that. I think then she's worried about there's still pressure on young women, especially, or women in general. Not that I'm giving Alyssa like a pass on her bad gameplay. I'm just saying for her overall psyche. Now it's been on TV. Did she push for it? Yeah. Was she hornballs? Hell yeah. Were her ovaries like, give me some? Yes, they were. But I think then after the horniness wears off, I mean, haven't you ever had that moment where you're young and you hook up or something? Not me, obviously. I'm a Christian. But, you're hooking up and like it feels right in the moment. Then afterwards, you're like, oh, that was all wrong. I'm glad no one was here to witness that. Now I'm never going to tell anyone about that again. Again, not me. I am a Christian. But she just did it in front of national TV. And now I think she feels pressure to stay connected to this dude and to feel love for him because she's going to leave here. And this is all she has because she looks like a dumbass with her game. She looks like a dumbass with her vagina. She just looks like a dumbass overall, as does he. But there's different standards on women. So I think she's worried about that. She's worried about her family will think. She's worried about a lot of things. Even though she proclaims to be sex positive, you can be the most sex positive person in the world. America is still not as sex positive as the kids want it to be. Okay. I mean, the hungry, they were like, hungry, give me some, feed me. And then he fed her and he gave her an appetizer. He gave her half an appetizer. Like I remember when I went to Pump, speaking of, well, now I went to Pump, but then I also, that sounds so bad. Lisa Vanderpump's other restaurant, Sir, and they give you goat cheese balls. And if you watch Bravo, you know about Sir and the goat cheese balls. They were the racist Stassi's favorite before I knew she was racist. Sorry. And so I ordered them and they give you like 4. And I was like, that is not enough. That is not enough ball in the mouth. Okay. And so I feel like that's Alyssa. She got like the half-atizer. And she was on like that menu at the Cheesecake Factory where they're like the light menu, we're like, here's a couple pieces of lettuce and grilled chicken and 1 asparagus. Okay. Hopefully you're full. She's not full. So they're like, feed me more. And so I digress, but yes. And on top of that, Ryan, you're exactly right. She's so insecure. She's so jealous. And it's, again, something that we hope that, we can, whoever raises women, I'm sorry, I'm not a mother. I am an auntie and I like to instill this in my niece to not, comparison is a thief of joy, support other girls, not be competitive over, boys. If a boy pushes you down or is mean to you, it doesn't mean he likes you, it means he's an asshole. Boys that like you will be nice to you so that we don't grow up, falling into that cycle of buttholes and like, why do women only date assholes? I don't know, because you've been telling us since we were a zygote that when boys are mean to us, they really like us because they can't show their feelings. And so we never asked them to evolve. We just asked us to devolve. And so then we end up in a vicious cycle dating dickheads and mama's boys like Kyle. All right. But Alyssa is so insecure and jealous. And it's gross. It's very, very gross. So again, that needs some therapy or something. Okay. That definitely needs some. Yes. She's always staring. She's just now staring into space. And it is very, 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 very sad. Okay. All right. So they're just, he's now, no, they're all going to hate me. We're going to, now everybody, I'm going to be public enemy number 1. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Is this what this isn't worth it? And they still look related to me. They still look like 2 Cabbage Patch Kids that you adopt together. The brother, sister. I had twins. They were redheads. My grandma Ethel gave them to me for my 2nd birthday. I was obsessed. One had a tooth. The other one had, I think, no teeth. And they had the red yarn hair. They look like my Cabbage Patch dolls. Okay. They really do. They look like siblings. So he's saying I'm public enemy number 1. They're going to all come after me 100%. You did this to yourself, bro. You did this to yourself. You're going to eventually see her in jury or at finale, but he's got to keep her around. He had to break all of the alliances in order to keep this intact. And it's ridiculous. Okay. So then we go into make your own POV. So again, just like Fyre Fest, here's a styrofoam container. We're going to carry these styrofoam containers. Big Brother had they had a drop into the backyard. We've seen that on previous seasons where people would get drops. I thought it was BB16, but it might be BB18 this happened because Franzel was in both of them. And America would send them packages. And it was 18 because now I'm remembering. And so when I first saw something fall, I was like, oh, that's the wall yellow. That somebody sent something over the wall. That's what I really thought. And then it was like, oh no, make your own POV because this is like a Fyre Fest and this is supposed to be a really bad time and everyone's supposed to hate it and all the bathrooms are going to overflood. So, and then this weekend they were eating, or I should say yesterday they were eating out of these styrofoam containers. And I thought, well, that's not good for the environment. And then I forgot, oh yeah, it's based off of Fyre Fest. So they have to take these styrofoam containers and they have to stack them and sit them on these pedestals. The styrofoam containers have nothing in them. So they're flying all over the place. The wind. I mean, look at Joseph's legs. He is just, he was ready to play, but it just wasn't on his side. And he also said, I would rather Kyle win because then he has to what did he say he wanted Kyle to win so they could talk him into putting Alyssa up it was just, I was like, no, you need to win, Joseph. You need to win, sir. Okay. And then lo and behold, who won, you guys? It was DJ Slow Time. DJ Slow Time was like, "What's up, everybody? I'm the karaoke guy. I'm from Chicago." He was talking about being from Chicago again. He was like, "I'm strong and I'm down to get the friction on or something." I don't know. Look at him. He's just so happy. This is the best day of my life. I'm going to blow it all up right now. I'm going to make the worst decision of an HOH could ever make. And I thought I'd trust Kyle because he has betrayed everybody. And I think that's a good idea. So I'm just like, Tear Bear. So Tear Bear wins Veto. And then Tear Bear is off going, "I don't know if I'm going to use it or I'm not going to use it." I'm thinking, this is your HOH, sir. Be as messy as you want to be. Get as much blood on your hands as you want. I would probably argue that you should keep the noms the same for your game. I already think your noms were pretty bullshit. You had a showmance right in front of you and a guy who spilled within 2 seconds. And you keep saying, you're about this and about that. And yet, here comes this little Utah boy and he is just spilling and selling everybody out for a woman. And you don't think he's going to do the same to you? So Tear Bear's just like, well, I might use it. We'll see. I did like that it was messy because for TV, I liked that part. I like Terence being messy in this episode, but I am very disheartened by what I see Terence on the feeds. Again, I never know what is really going on with Terence until Terence says, until he does it. I really don't. I don't even know in the DRs if he's telling the truth because Terence is Andy Herring. He just says anything to everybody. But I did like when he finally told Joseph, we saw this moment that we have been waiting for a moment like this. Some people wait a lifetime, and so this is him and Kyle talking, but he finally tells, see if I have a screenshot of that. Oh yeah. He finally sits down with Joseph and Terence is feeling himself. You can tell by his stance. The man spread is wide. The jorts are rolled. The socks are gone. Terence is feeling himself. He's like, "Babe, I'm a fake HOH. I'm a second place HOH and a veto winner. I carried styrofoam things." And that, you know what? You did win, sir. You really did. And he tells Joseph, "All right, why are you protecting this guy? He outed you. He talked shit. Yep. I think he should get hit. He said your alliance is called the Leftovers." And Joseph's like, it's like he was cheated on. He's just finding out his girlfriends are sitting him down with the proof going, "He did you dirty, girl." And he's like, "No, he wouldn't. He says he loves me." "Girl, look it's right here. Him, this other girl, butt stuff happening right in front of your eyes in a picture. They filmed it." And he's like, "Oh, I would never. I've been so loyal to him. I've been saving the butt for marriage, And obviously, I don't know nothing about that. I'm a Christian. But, he just was like, shocked. And we hadn't had feeds because of this alleged wall yeller. So we still don't know. Was Terence's decision then to do this and be messy and then ultimately use the veto and put Kyle on the block and take Turner off, which is what he did. So now we have Kyle versus Joseph. Was that due to wall yeller influence? Or was that really Tear Bear going, "All right, let's see"? I like the idea that Terence was like, "All right, well, Kyle spilled and Joseph, you keep lying to me. So now I'm going to out Kyle because I think Kyle is a prick for spilling because snitches get stitches. And so now I'm going to tell Joseph and see what happens and see who can make me the best deal because one of you is going home for sure." Because the only one in the backyard that Terence is very loyal to is Alyssa. He's like, "Alyssa, G." He calls her G. He's like, Alyssa's like, "Yeah." And then Alyssa, again, so insecure that at one point, Terence, not in this episode, on the feeds, is annoyed with the game talk. He doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to hear from Joseph anymore. He doesn't want to hear game talk. And so he's saying that he's annoyed, and Alyssa's like, were you mad at me? And he's like, Liz, why would I be mad at you? She's like, "I don't know. I just think everyone's mad at me." And I'm thinking, what the hell? What happened to this girl? Why is she thinking everyone is mad at her? Terence, that's the only person Terence likes at this point is Alyssa. And only because she doesn't know what's going on either. Even though Jasmine doesn't know what's going on either, but he does not like Jasmine. And he's made that very clear. He's like, "I don't roll with Jasmine." Okay. But yeah. So I like to believe that Terence was out here just playing these fools against each other. But I don't think that was the case. I think there was some kind of outside influence that we did not see. Yes, and we'll never know. Terence is unpredictable, which can be fun and then can be not fun. So we'll see. No matter what, it did add, I mean, I'll tell you, Terence isn't my favorite, but I don't mind a little messy. And that was messy. When he looked Joseph in the face and he was like, dude, he's talking shit about you. I don't know why you're sticking up for him. Because he's like, what do you have with this man? He's like, oh, nothing. Why do you want Alyssa to go more than him? And then Joseph's just like, I just think Alyssa, I mean, such a threat. She's, how she follows Kyle around and she's had her period a lot, like a lot, like Christy Murphy a lot, like a lot of period. And the one time she got drunk when she was whopping on the floor, like wah, wah, wah. And she was doing the, that was good. And if we have a competition where you got to whop on the floor, she's going to whop it up, So Hurricane Terence came in and he was messy. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from Terence because he always, once I think he's going to go one way, he goes the other. The only two people I found him to be loyal to or enjoy was Daniel Tiger, ride on home, never show your face ever again. Undo all your social media, unplug. Okay. And Alyssa, that's it. That's all I've ever known. Those are two people he's liked. He doesn't like Monty. He doesn't really like Taylor. He doesn't like Jasmine. He doesn't really like Michael. He doesn't really like Brittany. He doesn't really like Kyle. He doesn't really like Joseph. He might like Turner a little bit, but not enough not to put him up. But he likes Alyssa enough, like, you and I don't know shit in this game. We're both blind when it comes to what's going on. So I am going to keep you safe. Don't worry, Liz, it's me and you. So yeah, where did he come from? We have no idea. We do not know. Okay. But he's going to whop it up. She's going to whop it up. If there was a whop chance, she was like, Alyssa might win just on the motion of it, the motion in the ocean and the potion. Hocus Pocus 2 is coming out, so I don't know. So this part of the episode I wish lasted longer because seeing Joseph just like, it broke your heart, but then also I want to be like, Joseph, and now that I've seen Joseph on the feeds and Joseph, Joseph seems like a great guy. He's a great kid. He's 25. I mean, he's a baby. Okay. And I could have birthed them. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm a Christian, but he, started this game messy. Then he turned 25 and he had some clarity. He had like a quarter of a century clarity. And now he's back to, I don't know. This is the Joseph that was like, hey, put me up, Taylor. And Taylor's like, huh? Yeah, we'll really throw him off the set. And you're like, what? Huh? What's going on? So it's, Joseph, he's loyal. And I think that's what really hurts people is that he is a really loyal, nice person. And he does, as much as he is playing the social game, it seems like he does care about people. And he does, try to get to know people. And he pays attention to them, which is very different than a lot of the reality star people we see. So it's almost like seeing a good kind of person get shit on. And so that's not always fun to see, but that is, part of the game. I think Alicia, if we give him some time, he's young, he'll see more stuff because he hasn't seen a lot. He doesn't even know the power of the vagine and the penis together yet. He doesn't understand that this Alyssa Kyle thing needs to be broken up yesterday. Yeah, he's a genuine guy. He's facts. He's probably I did hear him talking about personal training, which I know he's not a personal trainer, but I feel like he's personal trained people, or maybe he did that part-time before or while he was doing law stuff. I don't really know, but he seems to know a lot about it. And he was talking about a client he had, and it seemed genuine in the way he was speaking, the way he speaks of his brother. His brother has diabetes, so that kind of changed his look on health. So he's a good guy. I like listening to him talk. He does talk a lot though. But I like listening to him because he's genuine and it seems like he's going to make a good impact in the world, okay? Unlike Kyle, who, Kyle's going to pretend to twerk on TikTok with his mom forever, okay? And I can't really judge because me and my mom do silly shit too, but I feel like we're actually talented. But that's just me. So, yeah. So now, while he's over there, this is when Kyle starts, planting seeds. Like, we have to assume Joseph's pulling all the stops. He's been over there a half hour. Yeah, dude, he just found out you raw dogged hit with somebody else on him. Like, you cheated. You cheated so bad. You cheated so dirty on him. And Terence is loving it. Terence is like, I'm from Chicago. I don't know what's going on. I feel like, you just need to wake up. I don't really know how I'm playing, but I'm like a half HOH because I did get a basket, but it was outside and there was a bunch of ants on it, but that's pretty cool. So now Joseph is, making some solid points. Like, okay, Kyle flipped and betrayed all these people and all these alliances, and he's going to do the same to you when you walk back in. So any promise Kyle's making Terence, and Kyle is making a lot of promises to Terence, he's going to go back on it, just like he did to the leftovers, just like he did to the pound, just like he did to the sick shitters, just like he did to whatever other alliance he's been in. So, but I don't think at this point, to save his own ass and to save his girlfriend's ass, because they're official girlfriend boyfriend, they're GFBF. And Kyle's 29, but he has the mentality of a 14-year-old. So he's GFBF. He's getting handies on the regular. He is not going to break that. He actually on the feeds, let's get to spoilers now, because we see, Turner gets taken off. They don't use the veto on Jasmine. And she's like, what? And Brittany's like, I'm not going to use the veto. Our target's Monty, even though it's not. It's not. It's her. She's the target. But she's like, it can't be me because we got this guy. And let me tell you, Monty is just winning me over. The first couple of weeks, I was like so not into Monty because of how he was acting to Taylor and the Paloma stuff and the stuff he was saying. But he snapped out of that really fast. He's kind of like this fun, corny guy. And I feel like, not horny, corny. Kyle is horny. And then Monty's corny. He's got this just kind of fun personality. I really am becoming a Monty fan. And now it looks like, spoilers, that once these players from the outside come back into the inside, it really is going to be Monty and Taylor versus the world at this point. And maybe if Michael and Brittany are going to work with them or they're going to work with Kyle, we'll see, because we did hear them talking on this episode with Michael saying, if one of the leftovers goes and Alyssa comes back, we know that Kyle had something to do with it and we got to cut him. So now Kyle is getting his forces together. And the shitty part is, most likely Joseph is going to be voted out, voted to jury tomorrow. There's just Turner. You guys, I wish I could tell you that Turner is fooling them, but I don't think Turner's fooling them. Here's why. I was hoping Turner would be loyal because, before, when Kyle has approached him, he's been like, no. And Kyle just kind of temp checks. He temp checks Turner a lot before this twist. Like, what if someone goes against, the alliance? And he's like, well, those people get, clipped. We got leftovers and we got pound. I'm loyal to them. However, now that this is all shaky grounds, all the alliances are out there, and Terence and Alyssa know, I think Turner's going to go with Alyssa and Kyle because he has said on the feeds that they're his best friends in the house. He is actually very fond of Alyssa, and he's one of the people that early on, right after the 10 seconds of penetration happened between Kyle and Alyssa, he told Kyle, you can't vote her out. I mean, you can't backdoor her. Because I don't even think she would know you were back there, because it would too short. But yeah, I think that he's loyal to those two on a personal level. So unfortunately now I think Turner, he's on the feeds and he's talking to Alyssa and Kyle, and they're talking about how they would be the most fire final three in the history of final threes. And I just want to throw up on myself because I didn't see this fate for Turner. I had hoped, like a Turner, Taylor, Joseph, or Taylor, Turner, Monty, or Taylor, Turner, Michael, or something like that. But not this. Not the white supremacy of BB. Not the blandest mayonnaise sandwich you've ever had, which is, those two cancel each other out. But it looks like he's picking the mayonnaise sandwich on Wonder Bread. And I think. Now, he could surprise me. I'm hoping he'll surprise me, but I don't think so. And then even if he does vote to keep Joseph, Terence has to break the tie because Alyssa's going to vote to vote Joseph out. And Terence, not smart, Terence is probably going to roll with Kyle. It would be fantastic if Turner and Terence talked and they were like, listen, Kyle has turned and betrayed so many people. So let's just cut him, which would make total sense. Cut him. They both like Alyssa. Terence and Turner have that. TNT have something in common. They both love Alyssa. They love her. They love her. They think she's so great. Okay. They're like some of the few that love Alyssa. Even Alyssa doesn't love Alyssa. Okay. So they love her. So take Alyssa. And then Joseph, obviously, he's still here. You saved him. Roll back into that house. Snatch up Taylor. Maybe even, Monty, even though I know Terence doesn't want to do that. Take out Brittany and Michael and, go forth. I feel like that would be a decent plan for them. But unfortunately, I don't think Turner or Terence are going to do that. And Alyssa is far better by herself because then Terence could actually, or Turner, this would be a great move for Turner because then Turner has Joseph and Joseph will be forever indebted to him. And then let's say he can talk Terence into it. And then Alyssa's number one becomes Turner by default. Because if Kyle's not there, it's Turner that she's loyal to. And then after that, Terence. And that's about it in this game. So that would actually work out really well for Turner and could be explained to Kyle, jury management wise, hey man, you threw out our alliance. Okay, but I'll make sure to take care of Alyssa. Ooh, that would be funny. I'll take care of your girl, even though he has a girl and he doesn't want to make a rug with Alyssa. Okay. So I wish that would happen, but I don't think so because the common sense is not happening there. I feel like they're not seeing that Kyle will do this again and again and again and again. Do it again. Do it again. He's going to keep doing it. All right. And if Terence and Turner keep him, I mean, they deserve then what they get. And I hope what they get is next in jury because this is just not smart. This is a point where Turner could really make some moves, get out Kyle, who, okay, he's your friend, but how good of a friend is he that he just shit on all of your alliances? You were insulated, bro. Like facts, fire. You had leftovers and you had the pound and you and Joseph weren't saying shit about it. And Kyle spilled as soon as his feet hit the grass. He was like, I'm in an alliance. It's called the leftovers. And I'm in an alliance called the pound. And then this person said this and this person said this. Please don't take away my hand jobs. He just spilled so quickly. So I feel like Turner would do a lot better. And also now there's a fire under Joseph because Joseph heard from Terence that Michael and maybe Kyle as well, after they did the schoolyard picks, said to Terence, take a shot at Joseph. So Michael, one of his leftovers, and Kyle, he's been betrayed by, so he's going to go in there with a vengeance, and Turner can ride that wave as they get out Michael, who is a huge threat in this game, who is going to win this game if you don't take him out soon. Even Monty knows. He's telling Taylor, we got to take Michael out at 5. Like he's too much, of a threat. So there's just so many more moves that can happen. But if you let this happen, Kyle runs your shit. Kyle runs the game. Kyle's getting his 10 seconds here, his 10 seconds there. You might as well let him 10-second you at this point. Durable says, this is by far probably the worst week before the other weeks were better. But this one feels like the game's just getting started. We'll see. Turner's a super fan. He should know to vote out. But he isn't, though. He says he is after all, but he isn't. He's watched it a couple times from his van. I mean, he's only 23 years old. He's not really a super fan. Half these people don't even know how the feeds work still. Okay. So yeah. Renee says, imagine a wall yeller comp where they combine the wall comp with speakers behind your head that randomly yell rude things at you. Well, here's the thing. I know and also why punish us by cutting feeds because of a wall yeller? Why can't we hear what the wall yeller says? It's not like you're taking the house guests in the house, like what they normally do with a wall yeller, is then they lose their backyard privileges and the house guests get really mad. Okay, which I understand, they're gonna get mad. But as far as Big Brother, like, why cut the feeds on us? I didn't yell over the wall. And also every other, well, I should say a BBUK, they invite people to the Big Brother house to yell shit at the contestants. So, I mean, seriously, America, buck up. We're always talking about snowflake this and snowflake that. Well, how about we, stop it with the outside can't know something. It'll interfere with the gameplay. Production interferes with the gameplay. Everything interferes with the gameplay. This isn't a solely fair game. It really isn't. There's twists and turns that can be thrown in at any moment to help favorites or to help people that they want to help. So this isn't like some kind of just like virtuous, true, honest game. It isn't. So if somebody, either you hire more security or if somebody occasionally yells some shit, add it to the episode. That would have been great. But the fact is, to make it look as though it's not happening anymore is just stupid at this point. And to cut the feeds because of it doesn't make any sense. They have to be outside, so keep them on. I don't know. I guess I'm just not that. I'm more mad at them for not preparing for the wall yellers than I am the wall yellers. Because maybe just because I watch BBUK so much and they literally like, get Kyle out. Like they would be screaming outside of the house. You know when the public in UK hates you because they invite them to the Big Brother house. They all stand outside with the host and they yell like, F you, get this person out. And you have to hear that in the house. And so week by week who's hated and who's not. And, also it is, a public vote. Rather than inside. So, I mean, that's the only difference where they don't want to, sway house guests within the house, but it might actually make this game a little more exciting. It might, to see how people are actually influenced by public opinion. I mean, it's already part of the game. We do have America's favorite player. So house guests do try to gain the favor already and care what people think, because some might argue, well, then they'll only care what outsiders think. Well, they already do, because everyone's trying to get America's favorite player. That's like a coveted role. I mean, look at Tiffany. Tiffany was brought back. She didn't win. She was America's favorite player. America's favorite players tend to get more love in the club than the actual winners of this game. So it's just like, just freaking let it happen. Show it. It's going to happen sometimes. If you don't want it to happen, then you're going to have to hire some more security. You have to do something. But apparently if in fact there was a wall yeller, they were playing music. So yeah, there were banners back in the day, and they showed that. So, plus you knew somebody from, would get America's favorite player. The BB Australia house is a resort compared to BBUS, has a basement, backyard, attic. That's another thing. They could have created an outdoor aspect in another sound stage on that lot. I've went to the taping. I've been on that CBS lot. There's lots of space for them to, blindfold them, take them over to another lot and have them there for the week. So you don't even have to risk wall yellers, but instead they put them in the backyard. It seems like if Big Brochella was going to be the VIP treatment, they would have got the backyard, the whole house. And then the other house guests would have went to a separate location nearby, and they could have planned for all that. And made it look, really dingy, like a Fire Fest, almost like they were outside without being outside. I mean, this is television. You can make anything happen. I don't understand that. Every other country's Big Brother, I mean, BB Can made a whole ass room, multiple seasons with sand on the ground. They made it look like, and the house guests were like, it's warmer in here. They had lawn chairs. They felt as though they were outside. It was like their little beach resort. And we can't figure it out. That's where I think our Big Brother, they just don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. I think they don't give a shit. Because there's really no reason at this point that it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to see what the production value of this show compared to other countries' Big Brother. It's freaking embarrassing. Okay. Yeah, the BB Can house is fantastic. It's huge and it's bright and it's flashy. And some people don't like it. I actually do like it. But even BB Australia, like they have separate rooms, separate areas they can send people to. BB UK does the same thing where they've hidden house guests and they didn't even know they were in the house. BB Can's done it too. But for us, we're just like, meh, I don't know. Nah. We do. Hire Arissa Cox already. Just hire Arissa Cox. She clearly knows what she's doing. She's the executive producer and the host of BB Can. They based their series off ours, yet their series is like kicking our series ass. So clearly she knows what she's doing. Just hire her. Hire her. Get over yourself. Hire her. The twist was well thought of but the Wall Yellers somehow got a move to happen because they want Kyle to DQ for wanting Joseph out. Well, Kyle is starting to wonder about his public perception, which makes me believe the Wall Yeller thing even more. And he's talked about that, and he wishes he could express how much he likes Alyssa. You need a VPN. Global, I believe, is the network that airs BB Can. And I watch it every season. I have a VPN. But I tend to watch it. I think you can only watch it. You can't watch it live. You can watch it like the next day, but you get the feeds. Like BB Can's feeds are free. You don't have to pay for any streaming. They're free. They do cut the feeds a lot. They're kind of annoying, but so do we. But I watch it on this website. Feel free to shoot me a DM and I'll try to remember the website, but they will play it while it's live. And then as for BBUK, it's coming back, but I haven't watched it in a while, but I used a VPN as well. It depends what networks it's going to be on. TV Talks with Tom will definitely know. Because he's British. So we can ask TV Talks with Tom, but I remember watching the UK episodes like at really weird times, and it was so fun. And they're coming back next year. So we'll just talk to TV Talks with Tom. Like he'll know. He knows, I think like the UK, they all know each other. They're like all best friends, and they all know the Queen and shit, like Prince William, stuff like that. And BB Australia, I watched that. If you just Google it, they have a website. And you can watch it through there with the VPN. So the VPN basically just allows you to change your location and protect something bloobity blue. You pay for it. It's I forget what it stands for. Obviously, I'm very well versed in this, but I do use it. Okay. What do you think is happening in the Have Not room? It's been they're bleaching it. It has Kyle jizz all over it. It's full of virgin jizz, and it went everywhere. You guys, and there are little babies walking around like, feed me. And Kyle's got kids up there to raise now. It's a whole mess. It is a whole mess. It's just full of, Kyle, Juice, and the Book of Mormon. I don't know what's going on with it. Dawn says, I tried watching this last one on BB Can, but it only worked for a couple episodes. Oh, that's such a bummer because you can definitely through their website. It's like there's a BB Can website. Canadian people in the chat, feel free to drop the info for Dawn, but it's like bigbrothercanada.com or .ca or something. And you can watch the episodes the next day, but you can watch live feeds from there as well. And it should work for you as long as you have a VPN. So there you go. Right. I just rant, Paul. I rant. It's so unsanitary. I mean, they literally had their first intercourse on a floaty that other people used after the fact. Now, granted, they did put down like 2 or 3 towels because Alyssa was on her period, because I went back and looked because I had to do the research, normalized menstruation. And so they were on a couple towels. They had that pinkish blanket that Joseph's always wrapped in. So Joseph could be pregnant too with Kyle and Alyssa's babies or there's 2 of those pink blankets. Taylor uses the blanket too, but that's a jizz blanket if I've ever seen one. But yeah, they banged with their shirts on. I think he had a hoodie on when he was banging and no pants. And yeah, they had some towels down, which, they're going to have to get the stains out of that one. It's really messy. Sex is messy. Yeah, don't give up on BB Can because I've never really had issues with it before. And I want you to be able to watch it, Dawn, because it is so good. And I think Canada really cares about its Big Brother because it's almost been taken from them a few times. And so that's why you'll see like the Wendy's window and you'll see them very forthright about their advertising. And it's not cringe because it exists so that the show can exist. They're very upfront about that. Because when I first watched, it was like Leon's Furniture. And I was like, what the frick is this? Who's Leon? Like, what in the local furniture store is this? And then I grew to love Leon's furniture. Now I'm always wondering, like, how is Leon? Is he okay? Is he still rolling? Did he survive the pandemic? So Canadians, please let me know. And now they have Wendy's. Now tonight we did some self-promotion in our episode with Tear Bear, with DJ Showmance, DJ Save the Showmance, DJ Showmance Saver. And he was like, this will be Paramount, like Paramount Plus, where you should be watching this. And me, and I was like, oh God, that's cringe. But they found a way in BB Can to take their advertisers and incorporate them into the game, where now the Wendy's window is something that every HOH gets Wendy's if you win HOH. And I don't know, Canadian Wendy's must be the shit, because they get so excited about a spicy chicken sandwich. And I have never enjoyed Wendy's that much in my entire life. No offense, Wendy's. Who wants a square hamburger? That's weird to me. All right. But their fries are pretty good and the Frosties aren't bad. I will say that. But then the HOH gets to pick one person to enjoy the Canadian Wendy's with. Maybe it's just like more polite. It has poutine or something. Maybe it comes with like a moose ride. Or maple syrup. I have no idea, but they just get so excited. Well, and it's their sponsor. They have to. And everyone orders spicy chicken sandwich. So they pick one person and it's become part of the gameplay. Like if you get picked to talk with the HOH and be their Wendy's date, it can be good or bad for your game. You know, they can be feeling you out. They can be trying to get some information. They can be trying to align with you. And you get a whole segment. So, you know, you're going to get some airtime. Okay. Yes, BB. Yes, it goes nuts for KFC, and KFC is disgusting. I don't care what anybody says. It's disgusting. Apparently, according to, I was watching a clip of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Marlo had some KFC from Jamaica, and apparently like Jamaican KFC slaps. And I haven't had slap-worthy KFC since I was a kid. Okay, Pamela Anderson ruined KFC for me because she became PETA, and then they showed pictures and I saw like, ew, yuck, not good. But there was a point in KFC's history where they did those bowls where it had mashed potatoes and corn and the chicken in it with gravy. And I'm very Midwestern, and that's like a hot dish. So I ordered that when I was younger. But yeah, we get Domino's. They had pizza. And Stephanie, thank you, Stephanie. I miss you guys too. I love how they were like, it's VIP, and Taylor was totally roasting this VIP big Brochella theme, because it's supposed to be based on Coachella, but they got like tacos and margaritas, which is nice. You know, remember margaritas back in the day, in like the Janelle days, BB6, BB7, those house guests would get effed up and shenanigans would happen. But we don't really get hard liquor now in the Big Brother house because of those past seasons. And apparently there was lots of tomfoolery going on. But other than that, they really haven't. They got like Domino's pizza. They got a couple margaritas. They got some streamers. I mean, I don't know. I don't think any of those kids go to Coachella for streamers, pizza, and margaritas. Okay, they should have given them ecstasy. I would have loved to see all the house guests just roll and roll and roll. And I mean, how awesome would that be? I mean, if we're going to do this festival thing, we got to do something. Edibles, I mean, that's legal in California. Like, feed them edibles, give them some ecstasy, watch them put Vicks Vapor Rub all over themselves and sit in front of a fan and just like tweak out. I want to see something really interesting, you know, give them fun outfits. They don't want food, they want drugs, okay? And some drugs in California are legal, okay? Yeah, give them weed. Come on. Okay, see, give them garlic noodles. Like, look more into this shit. They didn't do enough. Yeah, and KFC can kick rocks, because my mom wanted a job at KFC when she was a teenager and they refused to hire Nana. We need more likes, you guys. Hit that like. Hit that like if you haven't already. Hit that like. Yeah, Taylor's had actual VIP treatment because she's Miss Michigan and was in Miss USA. So she knows. Oh, KFC in the Caribbean is amazing. Why, Dominique? Why? Is it because they use like real chicken that isn't like steroided up and full of creatine and roids and angry? Is that why? Because, man, this KFC in America sucks. It sucks. Like, most people would rather eat balls. Like, it is so bad. Give them some butter beans, right? Give them butter beans. We love butter beans. Yeah, so I just don't understand What is going on? Hi, Tilly. Probably the spices. Yeah, it's a secret. They can't tell you the spices because even Nana's friend who used to work there back in the 70s, she still won't give up the spices. Okay. Give up the butt, ladies. Give up the spices, KFC. I love my Ohio stereotype. And if you like KFC, that is so fine. I still love you. It doesn't matter. Ironic, Firefest had the music, but Coachella was quiet, right? Callie, great observation. Yeah, I don't know if they've even had any. I feel like they should get a performer. An actual performer would be amazing. That would be awesome. Who did we have before? BB Cigarella. What was her name? And then Angela was like, I love Baby-rella. Was it Angela? Was it BB20? What's wrong with Angela? That they had like BB Rexella, BB Rochella, BB Roach, Papa Roach. They had somebody and it was a girl and I didn't know who she was. I'm sure she's big time. Okay. Cause I don't know anything except for I do know a lot of stuff, but I don't know anything. And they were like, I love her. I'm like, I've never heard of her in my life. Is this Doja Cat? I have no idea who you are. I don't know who you are. I have no idea who you are. Do you know that I don't think I've ever had Popeyes in my life? I don't think I ever have. Yes, KFC's coleslaw is just sugar. It's just a bowl of sugar and some mayonnaise. Sam was like, okay, we got to do Sam, like sweet and salty with Sam. She was like, now I can just do Jasmine. I used to be able to do Sam all the time. What was something Sam always said from BB20? She was like, well, she said the curb stomp thing. That was scary. She said something else, but she was like, I'm Sam. I can just climb over this table and I can take 2 steps over there and I'll be out the door. I love BB Rexa. I'm Sam. Sam. You have to have a spot you know is good. Otherwise, you can't trust it. I don't know what that oh my God, I eat Cane's on the regular. That's why I have 2 chins, is because I cannot stop eating Cane's. I think Cane's is so good. I don't even know if Cane's is that good or if I just think it's that good, but it's good. Like me and my husband, me and Chell, we like some late night Cane's. Yeah. If I take 2 lefts and I go to the right, I'll be out of this place. I fucking hate it here. I'm Sam. You know, she was Sam. But there was something she would always say. Oh, I don't remember what it was. Yes, I know. I always want to eat. So what do we have for dinner tonight? Oh, Chow made steak and broccoli, and he made homemade mushroom soup and homemade bread. So I'm never going to be thin. I am never going to be thin. I tried to get turkey from Popeyes. Can you do that? I don't think I've ever had Church's chicken either. I don't know what's wrong with me. She likes squirrels. Thank you, VPN, virtual private network. That's what you need. That's what you need to watch that stuff. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had Church's. I don't think I've ever had Popeyes. I don't even know if we had Popeyes in Minnesota. Did they have Popeyes in Arizona when I lived there? Probably. I don't remember. Here, I think we have it. In California, never had it. I'm just not really a big fried chicken person. But then again, Cane's. So, I don't know. I do like that, though. I'm pretty sure that's fried chicken. Sam was trapped in there with all these tacos. She's like, sweet and salty Sam. Hi, guys. I'm Sam. Oh, Tyler. You want me to punch you in your face, Tyler? She was a robot. Churches in Minnesota, Joleen. There's one in Minneapolis. How long has it been there? Because I moved down to Minnesota in 2006. So, and I lived on the St. Paul side, and we always got things after Minneapolis, the big city. Even though we are the capital city, Minneapolis is just cooler, allegedly. I never saw Popeyes either in Arizona, but maybe. Okay, Renee is saying, yes, we have Popeyes in of course, Phoenix. I lived in South Scottsdale. We didn't have, I don't know, did we have fast food there? Yeah, we had to have. There was an Applebee's. I remember that. This twist did screw Joseph. I will say that he wouldn't be in this position had he not had this twist. But again, unfortunately, this is Big Brother. You know, you expect the unexpected. A lot of times it's expect the expected. And this twist has completely taken the leftovers out. But the leftovers were out the minute Kyle decided that he was going to penetrate. You know, he was like, penetrate it and forget it. And he wasn't going to forget about what he penetrated, but he was going to forget about the whole groups that he had formed to get far in this game. Monica said, I thought you got chicken at church. I think more people might go to church if they serve chicken, because I was raised Catholic and they just gave us stale bread and a backwash red wine that other people that I thought was cool when I was younger. But then when I was older, I was like, ew. And some people don't chew the body of Christ before they go drink the wine, and then they just wipe the rim, and that's how COVID started. Like that has to be. And then you just have little like body of Christ floaties in the wine, and that's not good. You know, you should get little shooters of wine. Even Jesus would do that. Jesus would be like totally down with everyone having their own little shooter, even if it was a reusable glass. They got dishwashers. Catholic churches are rich. Okay, they can afford like the Bosch, the nicest of the dishwashers. I just got a nice dishwasher. The Catholic Church could afford a bunch of them. Okay, yeah, the communion. And it was but there are some churches where the communion slaps. Sometimes the body of Christ is kind of tasty. There's some of them are stale. Okay, but if you get some fresh body of Christ, some fresh communion, it can be not bad. You know, it kind of dissolves on your tongue a little bit, and it's just got a little bit of a bite, not like a flavor bite, but a little bit of a crunch. Not bad. Washing it down with red wine. I mean, now I'm an alcoholic, so I can't drink, but when I could, some communion and some wine, get this party started, okay? Let us pray. Yes, let us pray. All right. Vatican City is worth $60 billion, but we sorted to chugging Jesus from the same bucket, right? You know, yeah, Jesus likes the poor, but the Catholic Church, they sure don't. They like nice stuff. They like the Louis Vuitton. You know, if you're inside Catholic churches, it's like Louis Vuitton City. It is, the Catholic Church is basically just a bunch of red bottoms put together. And that's how it's made. And then you're not even giving us our own glass. I should have my own Shiraz. What is the thing called? Your own, you know, like they drink on Game of Thrones. There's like a name for it. The glass, goblet or something. Attendance would go up. Okay. Yeah, he turned water into wine. Jesus would not want us to spread germs like that. He's like a nice dude. Super nice, super rad. I'm sad because I want Taylor and Joseph to reunite and have their moment. I know, but it's not going to happen. And it's going to really break Taylor's heart. But I think that they see the writing on the wall and they know that Kyle most likely made this move and that Joseph is at risk. You know, my aunt used to take, I'm telling you, Edmund, I don't blame your aunt. It's an extra body of Christ, never hurt anybody. And also some of it slaps. Some of it is tasty, like better than a wheat thin, and wheat thins are gross. Actually, Triscuits are super gross. A goblet. Yes. A chalice. Ashley, you classy being. Oh my gosh. A chalice. That's what it oh, look at you. Look at you rich bitches in the chat. You know the chalice. We should get our own. Be like, thank you. Amen. Thanks be to you, Lord Jesus, chalice. And then we just drink. I'll try not to stay away so long. It's just sometimes I'm just like, I get exhausted. You know, just my job gets in the way, my comedy shows get in the way of my Big Brother consumption. Kyle has to go now. I believe you. And I agree with you. You know, yeah, some pimp cups, you know, for my pimp juice. Ooh. Did they? Yes. So they told Jasmine that she's going home. Okay. And they were talking about this all day. And they weren't looking forward to it. They actually worked out and they weren't looking forward to that either. But Michael and Taylor were like, all right, we got to work out and then we got to talk to Jasmine. And actually it was Brittany and Taylor. And Brittany was like, maybe we don't have to. And Taylor was like, we have to. Jasmine was packing. Apparently she left some stuff for Alyssa. And they saw she put a cardigan somewhere and they were like, ooh, she knows she's going. So they told her. She got emotional and she said she just hopes Turner doesn't win this. She really still hates Turner. And the irony is that Turner's out in the backyard with the rest of his new group of Klansmen and they're, you know, planning their next move. And they're like, hey, I hope Monty went home. I hope Jasmine stayed because then we can work with Jasmine. And I was like, in what world is Turner kind of excited to work with Jasmine in this game? But this is where we're at, unless he's completely just feeding them lines and just to get through the week. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't know what's going to go on with Turner. But Jasmine, yeah, she said she didn't want Turner to win. She said, let's see, I have it written down here somewhere. I have so many pictures from the thing. Okay, let's see. She said she had a feeling. She felt that they were going to vote to keep Monty because of the things that he's been saying all week. Like he's been saying, if I see this, next week when I see this, or next week when I do this. And she knows that they've been having conversations when she's in bed. And she was like, and I'm not born yesterday. So she is aware. Did she say that happened later on this afternoon? Let's see. Did we miss anything else from Jazzy? She was tearing up. She was crying. I wouldn't be surprised if she said she's going to tear up the jury house. And you know what? Once she sees Joseph is going to jury with her, she'll be so happy. She has Indy and Joseph, even though she likes Indy sometimes, but she likes Joseph all the time. All the time. Let's see. Yeah. So she knows. They told her. And Taylor's like, I'm sure the live feeders don't like this, and I didn't care because Jasmine's not going to be a fun blindside because I think it's more fun to tell her and see how she reacts. So I've been live now for a while and I've been watching episodes, so I don't even know if it's gotten worse or better, but she's actually been on her best behavior with this twist. Jasmine has, and they've actually enjoyed her to the point where Taylor was like, I feel like I'm putting down my dog. And Monty was like, yeah. And she's like, well behaved right now. So she's probably been her best self in this game, but she did have a moment this morning where she's still limping. She's wearing a brace. She's got her jams on. She's going to make some sugar bacon. She's like, I'm going to make some sugar bacon. You ever had sugar bacon before? And then she's talking about how pro-woman she is, and she was like, I don't know, I don't know. Women, I love strong-willed women. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but I love strong-willed women. I do. Like butter beans. Like, they don't intimidate me. I like a woman. I feel comfortable. She's saying something that she likes, like strong women, opinionated women, women in general. She doesn't feel competitive or something. And then Monty's behind her, looking over at Taylor like, Monty's given the best faces lately because he's like, Jasmine, you have been such a hater of Taylor. He's just thinking this in his head. Like, you've been such a hater of her. And she's all the things, all the successful. She's like, I don't get intimidated by other women. I don't. I love hanging out with powerful women. Then why didn't you like hanging out with Taylor? Then why did you judge her from the start? Why were you peanut butter and jelly all the time? And she told Turner a couple weeks back that she has a problem getting along with females. And when women refer to other women as females, that means that they don't have a lot of friends that are women, because women don't really. The only time I hear that used is when they're talking about like a chick that they don't like that cheated with their boyfriend or husband or something. They're like, that female. But for the most part, we don't really refer to each other as females. That female over there. That's what problematic dudes say. Misogynists like to say that, and women who don't like women like to use that. So I don't know. Yeah, the only thing strong on Jasmine is her eyebrows. She would probably get jealous if someone had stronger eyebrows than her. So there you go. Kyle is John Lennon and Alyssa is Yoko Ono. You're breaking up the band. No, Kyle is breaking up the band 100%. Alyssa, no. Kyle there's something wrong with that dude. There's just something wrong. He's 30. It's wrong. I did go back and watch some of his, because I was pulling some clips for these shorts I'm doing, and like videos of him and his mom, and videos from like 10 years ago are on his YouTube, because he doesn't have too much content on his YouTube. It's mostly his TikTok, but he does have some shorts on his YouTube. He has that one from 10 years ago where he got his wisdom teeth out, and there's like a 3-parter, and I watched 2 parts. And he is he's pretty weird. I know it was 10 years ago, but it's pretty weird. He's a weird dude. It's where he calls his mom a MILF. He proposed to the like dental person. I don't know if she was the dentist. I don't know what she was. The dental surgeon, maybe. He got overly sexual coming off of his wisdom teeth drugs. So, yeah, it's a little weird. Please do a show at NYC. I haven't performed in New York City since the beginning of the pandemic, right when the pandemic was hitting, that February when we were hearing little rumblings, 2020. I was out there and I did a bunch of shows and it was so fun. And then as we were coming home, it was like lockdown, pandemic. And I haven't been there since, and I miss it. I love New York. I love performing in New York. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, we're not female. It's like, we just don't say that about each other. Yeah, people are crazy, but he was like extra crazy. Okay. Yeah. Kyle put the P on pedestrian. He's very pedestrian. I know. I'll be back. I'll be back to New York. I just haven't fully gotten back to performing as much as I used to before the pandemic. I kind of turned to do more online stuff and focus more on other things, but I need to get back out there. But every time I do a show, I swear somebody there's got COVID, and it's annoying, or I get COVID, and it's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I don't really get along with other Homo sapiens, right? I mean, yeah. Who does? Who does? All right, you guys, that is all for tonight. Thank you for bearing with me as I took a little break on Sunday. I'll be back tomorrow night. I have some shorts coming out, some more shorts. Feel free to like those. You guys have been giving them lots of views. I appreciate it. I've gotten some new subscribers out of it. A lot of you are saying you like that format. I'm so happy you do, because it is very fun. It's definitely much harder than just pressing live and just talking shit, but I feel like it's something like a fresh way to express some creativity and geek out and have some fun with Big Brother and all of you. So I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. Please make sure you smash that like. Follow me on social media at Joleen Lunzer everywhere: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, where I post a lot more of my stand-up on TikTok and Instagram. And then Twitter, I'm just talking about Big Brother and television most of the time. So follow me on there. Thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to my wonderful mods and the entire Lean team, all of my members, all my patrons. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. We are well over 25,000 subscribers now, on our way to 26,000, hopefully 30, because that's the new goal, 30,000 subscribers. That'd be amazing. I think Chel's going to join us tomorrow night, my husband, for a casual corner. So that will be fun. I hope you are all well. Take care of yourself wherever you are in the world. Enjoy your day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, and enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Good night. If you like what you